welcome to In Touch with Durham County. I'm Deborah Craig Ray, General Manager of Strategic Planning and Innovation. Joining me is our co-host Wendy Jacobs, Chair of the Durham County Board of Commissioners.
Thank you, Deborah. We use this show to share vital information about the many programs and services provided by Durham County government.
April is Foster Care Month. We are pleased to welcome social worker Deborah Cousin from the Durham County Social Services Department and foster parent Rashani Johnson. Durham County recently launched a new emergency messaging system known as Alert Durham to help keep us all safe and informed during severe weather and other emergencies. Leslie O'Connor, Division Chief of Emergency Management, and David Marcy, Senior Emergency Management Coordinator, will be with us to highlight how this new system works and why it can save lives. Chairman Jacobs, let's begin our conversation.
Well, thank you, Deborah, and thank you, Deborah and Rashani, for being with us here today. Can you first just give our viewers an overview of our foster care program and just what it means to be a foster parent, Deborah?
Foster care is providing a temporary living arrangement for children that have been abused and neglected. Temporary meaning until we can either get them back with their parents or to a permanent home, such as an adoptive parent. It is our hope to find homes that will help these children while their parents are getting the help that they need.
And so what type of children need to be in a foster home?
It starts from birth all the way up. It could happen right at the hospital where a child tests positive for some type of substance in their system, or it could be when a child is a teenager. We have children from all age ranges. But when people come in to ask about foster care, they normally want a birth child, and we have numerous teens that need support too.
And what kind of training is involved with actually being a foster parent?
Durham County provides training that is called TIPS MAP. This training incorporates trauma, telling people about the trauma that the children have experienced just by being taken away from their birth parents. It also takes into consideration the skills to become a successful foster parent, such as knowing your own family, knowing how to communicate, knowing how to identify a child's needs.
Well, it's reassuring to hear that if somebody wants to be a foster parent, that there is the support and training that is going to come from you all.
Yes, ma'am.
So what is the age range required to become a foster parent?
You can be as young as 21 and no cutoff age, as long as you're physically and mentally able to take care of a child. And we depend on your qualified professional, your doctor, your mental health provider to sign off on a statement stating that you are physically and mentally able to take care of a child.
Now, Rashani, you are a foster parent.
I am.
How long have you been a foster parent?
I've been a foster parent for about 2 years and 6 months.
Now, what helped you decide to become a foster parent?
Well, I decided to become a foster parent because of, one, my personal story. I was a former foster kid myself, and so I can relate to the youth that are in foster care. There's a scripture that says, we overcome by the blood of the Lamb and by the power of our testimony. And I feel like if I can share my testimony to help empower or save someone, or help someone overcome, then that's what I'll do.
And what kind of skills do you feel like you would tell other people that they need to have to be a foster parent?
Well, I think that being a foster parent is no different than being a regular parent. I think that there are skills that you get from being a parent, and some you learn on the job. Actually, all you learn on the job, right? But being patient, of course, good communication skills, just being able to identify, work with the child or the young person makes a difference.
Now, Deborah, what type of income would one need to consider becoming a foster parent?
It's just dependent. It's depending on you meeting the needs of your home. You can't come into the agency where you need help already and expect us to place another child in your home. That's going to cause more hardship to your family. So we ask you about your income, and we also ask you about your bills. So you have to be able to meet your bills without any support from outside sources to become a foster parent. And that could be workable income, and it also could be retirement.
So essentially, if a person doesn't have a job, I mean, can they still become a foster parent?
If they have retirement income, if they have a trust, they just have to have enough income to support their needs, and it has to be consistent income. We don't look at income such as unemployment or child support because that's temporary. It can stop at any time.
Right.
But Social Security, that's another story.
So, Rashani, I'm curious, first of all, how long you've been a foster parent for, and also if you could tell us what it is like to go through the home assessment process.
Okay, so I've been a foster parent for 2 years and 6 months, and you know, the home assessment it's not hard at all. It's the same safety measures, maybe just a couple of items more that you would place for, you know, have in place at a normal home. Have to make sure electrical outlets are safe. You have to make sure you have a fire extinguisher. In addition, you have to have maybe a fire escape map posted in your home. And if you have guests, that may raise some questions if they don't know you're a foster parent. But safety measures are in place, like Deborah spoke on. You have an income. The house is clean, neat to foster or to have children in your home, to provide that environment for them to grow.
And in terms of the process, you know, filling out the application, can you tell us, you know, what to expect, what it's like to go through that process?
Exactly. So there's an application, as you mentioned, but there are also recommendations that you have to have filled out for you. There's a background check, so you're checked for if there's any mental or medical or anything like that. You go to the doctor, have doctors sign off on notes. You also, you, and this might be the part where, but you go to the doctor, have the doctors check on you. You submit all that information to the DSS social worker. And once they have that information, it's about maybe a 4-week process where that information is submitted to the state, and the state evaluates it and sends the confirmation back to the social worker, and you receive your license shortly after.
So once you go through that whole licensure process, how long can we expect before you may actually have a foster child?
Well, it just depends. You know, sometimes we're calling you as soon as we find out your license because that's the need of being a foster parent. We need you right away. And then sometimes it may be 2 or 3 months because we're looking at the type of parent that you can be to a specific child's needs. So if this child has a certain need, we're trying to find the best parent for that child. I want to address the process a little bit more in depth. The home assessment, we do a walkthrough of the home, make sure your stove is running, that you have air, heat, make sure there are no safety concerns. If you're a gun owner, the gun has to be in one lockbox, ammunition in another. We do a walk around of your house, make sure there are no lakes and ponds out there. If you have animals, we have to have a discussion about that. They have to have a vaccination record. So it's a thorough and in-depth process, and it takes a while. It takes a while. As Rashani said, we ask you for your background check, we get you fingerprinted, and we send that off to the state. Once we get your clearance, the process can take 4 to 6 months because there are several homes that we're working on, and we have to do a thorough assessment of how you grew up, what your relationships are with your parents and your siblings. You know, how do you handle grief? What are your strengths? What are your individual strengths? What are your family strengths? It's like a 16-page process.
But it sounds like you will help people through it, and I mean, it sounds like things that you would expect in terms of what you're looking for in the home. So.
Yeah. Can you talk a little bit about some of the challenges that might occur in working with the foster children?
Yes, in the past few years, we've had people that were not always upfront with us. You know, they've had children that they say they were out of the household and they're in and out of the household. And those children may have a criminal history that we cannot place a child readily in. So we ask people to be upfront and honest with us. There have been issues with people not having consistent income. We have to verify that income. We just can't go by word of mouth. We have to actually see your home. I've gotten several calls where people had one-bedroom homes, and I'm like, well, where are we going to put the child?
Right.
You know, and people are like, well, they can just sleep in the living room. No, we want something for our children.
Right.
You know, Rashani says we have to have a bed, you have to have a dresser, you have to have closet space. That child has to have some type of privacy.
Right. So Rashani, I'd love to hear from you, just to share with viewers, you know, what it's, you know, you've talked a little bit about your motivation to be a foster parent, but just, you know, what you would tell other potential parents about what it's been like for you, and I know, I'm sure your child has gotten something out of it, but what are you getting out of it, or what would you tell other foster parents, potential foster parents, that they should think about, and what it's meant to you?
So, yeah, it means a lot to me. Like I said earlier, I was a former foster kid, and I was in foster care for a good portion of my younger life, and so I view this in a way as an investment, or I view it that way because I feel and I believe that what you put in is what you get out. And my foster parent installed a lot of good things inside of me, and I believe because of her, I'm here, at the level that I'm at. But in regards to kind of helping others or other parents who may be interested in becoming foster parents, I would definitely say pursue it. It's a mission that you have to have, in your heart, and if you're capable and you have the power or knowledge or to do it, to do it. That was a lot of questions.
Well, thank you both so much. This has really gone very fast, and we just want to give you the opportunity to tell people how they can get in touch with you for more information should they choose to become a foster parent.
Please give me a call at 919-560-8092, or you can email me at fosterdreams@dconc.gov. And I just want to say that April is Child Protective or Child Abuse Month, and May is Foster Care Month, and we coincide and help each other. So I appreciate you giving us this opportunity.
Well, thank you. Thank you to both of you, Deborah, for what you do, and Rashani for what you're doing for children in our community. Thank you both.
Thank you. We'll have to have you on again.
Yes.
I appreciate it.
All right. So we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to hear all about Alert Durham. Stay with us.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
Welcome back. Severe weather and other emergencies can happen without warning. It's important that our citizens receive timely alerts. You'll be happy to learn that our community has invested in a new state-of-the-art emergency alert system. From Emergency Management, we have Leslie O'Connor and David Marcy to tell us all about Alert Durham. Commissioner Jacobs, let's continue our show.
Thank you, Deborah. Welcome, Leslie and David, and thanks for joining us. Leslie, I understand that you are new to Durham County government. Can you tell us a little bit about your background and what you're doing with us here?
Sure. I came to Durham County on January 3rd. I'm not new to emergency management. I have experience in public health preparedness as well as emergency management dealing with nuclear power facilities. And before that, I worked for the fire department and left as an engineer on Engine 3 in Cary.
Okay. Wow, you have a lot of different experience there. And David, tell us a little bit about what you do.
Well, I've been in emergency management since 2002. Trial by fire was the ice storm that we had back then. But I've been with Durham County government for going on 30 years now. Started out as a paramedic in the fire service.
Oh, well, that's wonderful. So we have a newbie and someone who's very experienced. So can you tell us about this new alert system?
Alert Durham is a new mass notification system that we have. We use it to be able to alert our citizens to any type of severe weather emergencies, also just informational needs that they should know about. Maybe there are road closures in their area. It could be that there's a rabies warning in the area or boil water advisories. And this system allows for our residents to be able to opt into what types of information they would like to receive. Weather alerts, if they sign up, they're automatically going to get those as soon as the National Weather Service pushes that information. But other things, they're available to sign up for what they want.
So the old system was code red, is that correct? And this is Alert Durham. Okay. And compared to the old system, how is it different and what are some of the benefits of this new system?
Well, this system gives us a lot more functionality. Instead of just having one reverse 911, I guess is the best way to put it. There are multiple applications that we can use for this, not only for the citizens, but for the county employees. There's a lot of different things that Code Red was not able to do that this can do, and it's more up to date, I would say, with technology. So.
Okay, great.
So really, why is it important to get the residents notified? I mean, I remember years ago, you just sort of hear a siren or something, and that would say, okay, we need to do something. But why are we doing a better job of alerting people?
Well, we found that if we can alert people in a timely manner, it gives them the opportunity to move to a safe place and to be prepared. Think about a tornado going off. Used to, we would have to wait to have a tornado coming in our area. We'd have a weather alert radio go off. And then if we had time, we would be able to set off our former system, and it would take approximately 10 minutes for those notifications to be received. By that time, our tornado has already passed.
Right.
With our new system, as soon as the National Weather Service issues those warnings, they automatically go to our citizens, and it gives them time to be in a safe place.
Now, how will the residents get their notifications? I mean, is it just a phone call, or what is it?
They can sign up for what they want. There's an app that's available that they can use as the first warning, and the app will alert them on their phones. They have the ability to sign up for text message or phone call in whatever method they want. Email is an option as well. So the new system, Alert Durham, will begin with your first choice. So if that's a phone call, it will try to call you. If it can't reach you, it will go to your second choice. That could be a second telephone number, or it could be a text message. As soon as you confirm that you have received the message, it will stop trying to contact you.
And can you specify exactly what to be notified about a specific area? So is it completely personalized for people and their location?
There are some features that will allow it to be personalized. We have the ability to set off particular phone numbers based on the area that we need to alert, or we can do just a mass notification of everyone, but that capability does exist.
And how can our citizens find out how to get registered for this system?
They could go to alertdurham.com, and there is where they can sign up. And on that particular page, they can sign up for the notifications they want. There are general notifications to emergency alert, and they can actually set the time frames as well so that they're not notified 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning if they choose not to.
Oh, okay, so they can sleep through the hurricane or the tornado.
Only for those optional
Optional
things that
things.
they
Yeah,
can come
exactly.
into.
And if you registered for Code Red, do you need to get re-registered again?
Yes.
Okay.
You absolutely do. The systems will not communicate with each other, and so we need for all of those residents who were originally signed up for the former to sign up again for alertdurham.com.
Okay.
Now, I understand why the residents need to be informed, but again, you know, we have over 2,000 county employees. Do we need to sign up as well?
Go ahead.
The way that we look at it with the county, we actually take the HR records and we import them. However, with the county employees, we need to make sure that not only do we have their county phone number, but if they have a personal cell phone number, because sometimes we travel from building to building, and having a county phone, you can get notified of emergency in a facility that you may be entering and not be aware of. So we're not going to use that personal phone number for anything other than alert emergency for the county.
Now, is there a limit? Because I heard you talk about the different types of devices you could use, but is there a limit on the number of devices you can use to sign up?
So for each person, it's going to be 2 email addresses, 2 telephone numbers, 2 text message phone numbers as well. So we would encourage you, if you have a home number and a cell phone number and your significant other has the same, that they sign up separately from you so that we make sure we're hitting as many possible numbers as we can to give those alerts. And as David said, we're not always in the same location, so we want to be able to contact you at any time.
I would also add that for Durham County employees, if they are a Durham County resident, not only are they signed up for the county, but they also need to sign up for the citizen alert. There's 2 separate systems that we notify on. So, if they live in the county, make sure they sign up at alertdurham.com.
Right.
Is there actually any way to notify people through the Code Red system that you need to go register for Alert Durham? Is there any way to use that system? Or, to contact people?
So that system ended on February the 1st.
Okay.
But we have a major campaign going for advertisement for Alert Durham that consists of doing In Touch. We also have print media that's available. We'll be on commercials on the new Spectrum cable as well as WREL. We have a Day of Touch Truck event at the Durham Bulls Athletic Park where we'll be signing people up for Alert Durham as well. So we have a large media campaign push to be able to hit all of our residents.
And what are some of the type of weather events that Durham residents should prepare for?
Typically, especially this time of the year, tornado is probably predominant in the springtime, as well as severe weather. Severe thunderstorms can occur and tornadoes can occur with little notice, so they need to be prepared for that. As we move into the summer months, we start looking at hurricanes and those type of events. And with that, they should be prepared for at least 72 hours on their own. And then, of course, in the winter time, we start looking at winter events where we have ice storms, snowstorms. And again, the preparedness that we always talk about is it's not really typical to one, but all hazards where you should be self-sufficient for 72 hours, have plenty of water, non-perishable food, battery-operated radios, those kind of things.
And do you have a website where people can go to get additional information or a list of things that they should have?
Sure, we on dconc.gov, you can click on Fire Marshal and Emergency Management, and it will take you to our page where we've got lists of information.
Okay, well, again, we want to thank you all so much because, when some people can sort of stay around and not have to worry too much, we know you all are working 24/7, making sure that we are safe from events in Durham County and that we're recovering in the way that we need to. And we really appreciate you all identifying this new system to help keep our citizens safe.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And can you remind us of the viewers of how they can find out more about Alert Durham and become a part of the system?
Absolutely. So www.alertdurham.com. Also dconc.gov, and click on Fire Marshal and Emergency Management, or you can always call our office at 919-560-0660.
All right. Well, thank you again for joining us. We've had another great show today.
Yes, we have.
Yeah. So we want to thank you all for joining us today and look forward to the next episode of In Touch with Durham County. Cheers.